Hello, this is Joel Blackford with Beth Hesed Sabbath Fellowship. We're virtual only based out of St. Paul, Minnesota. The phone number works if you'd like to contact us. We do the philosophy of eschatology, what you need to know, your reality, our existence as we move forward. We solve a little piece of revelation. We're working on the second seal today. Lakach Shalom is the Hebrew, which would be snatching peace from the earth, and that's what you're watching with Trump and Iran and Israel and all these other things. But it's been going on for years, people. So we're working at Revelation 6, 3, and 4, but really we're talking about Iran. They attempted an assassination on Trump. You don't do that. This is back in 2024, November 8th. It was published by the New York Post. And basically, they plotted against Trump, revealed as two New Yorkers also busted and planned to kill journalists. So, unnamed official in Iran's notorious Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps asked during September, focus on surveilling and ultimately assassinating Trump, according to a bombshell criminal complaint. And so, but it started earlier than that. I'm going to argue 1979, but here you go. This is the article that kicked things off. A time for war, and there's a time for peace. That's Ecclesiastes. So get used to it. Now, this is going to get some people to just leave the video right now, and that's fine by me. I support Israel, and I'm not capricious, okay? And our Father in heaven is not capricious. So I will bless those who bless you, but only if Bibi and every single Jew ascribe to my personal ideologies and eschatologies. No, it just says, I will bless those that bless you. And the one who curses you, I will curse. Some people will say, maybe not. If there's an unpopular Jewish war or decision, then God would just change his mind. No, that's not how it works, okay? And all the families of the earth shall be blessed in you, Genesis 12:3. So the point is, you can turn it off now. It's a long video, and I'm going to go the direction of these are not conditional. These are unconditional blessings. Basically, yeah, they can do whatever they want because there's only about 6 to 12 million of them worldwide that are Jews. And so that's the first level of response by the demons, we'll call them, okay? And so Trump, Israel will retaliate against Iran. Yeah, so basically what I'm getting at is that we knew this was going to occur. We knew that Iran was setting it up for this situation. This is Zero Hedge. This is on the 18th of June, and we knew the attack was coming. There's a big difference between now and a week ago. Nobody knows what I'm going to do, Trump. Yeah. So we sat there and waited. And then the attacks came. This is on the right-hand side from my friend Dave. He's very astute, and he's a Torah expert. That can only be good for the markets long term. Short term uncertainty is one thing, but people who spend a lot of money are betting on Iranian democracy. It won't be perfect, but it could be similar to other modern Arab nations who are business oriented. Iran going offline means that all surrounding terrorist organizations will lack supplies and support, lowering global terrorism for the next, he says, 2 decades. I think for the next 4 or 5 years. Okay? So this is interesting, and David's take is accurate. We're delaying things. That's all we're doing. Full list of U.S. military deployments that point to war. Fighter aircraft, tanker aircraft, bombers in Diego Garcia, warfare. We were ready to go, people. We knew it was going to occur. The doomsday plane was up and flying. This is from the Times of Israel. Trump is talking about regime change. Okay? So we saw Israel attack Iran in waves. And then we waited to see if Trump would do anything. But keep in mind, people, these fights have been occurring since 650 AD. Okay? And they just continue on. So whatever you're seeing right now has been all a part of 1979 and 9/11 of 2001, and it was caused by weakness, by Carter and other people's weakness. That's what we're watching right now. This is a battle that started thousands of years ago, 1,500 years ago, and now it's proceeding. But weak men have been involved the whole time. So no boots on the ground. That's what's going to occur. So Trump stated, we have completed our very successful attack on 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside Iranian airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordo. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. We'll see. We've bought a short time of peace. Thank you for your attention in this matter. So basically, the U.S. bombing of Fordo, this is by Yonah Jeremy Bob, brilliant strategist, great book writer, pushed back Iranian's nuke program by 6 months, maybe 2 years. Yeah, he's right. And you can see his book on BB's desk down below. So Yona's a smart man, and basically he knows that all we did was buy some time. So, world awaits Iran's response to Trump. So basically, this is Reuters, and it's from June 22nd. UN Security Council to convene later on Sunday over U.S. strikes at Iran's request. Istanbul would be the place talking about it. President Donald Trump said the U.S. had obliterated Tehran's key nuclear sites, joining Israel in the biggest Western military action since the Islamic Republic since 1979. Now, I was managing an Iranian foreign student house at college in 1979. I love Iranians. I do. I do not like their leadership, okay? They're despicable people, but I love the Iranian people in general. They remind me of Jews. They're wonderful, smart, brilliant, fun people. And so I feel sorry that the Iranians are suffering through this, but that's the problem of having a dangerous regime take over your country. So basically, then, we have the sides forming right now. We have the neocons pushing for war, but we've had this for 100 plus years in America. Lindsey Graham, people like that. But now we also have the anti-Zionist people, okay? So the anti-Semites. And so that would be Tucker and Candace and all the other people that you see, Greta, And so you'll see these sides stoke the flames, okay? But the problem is you can't trust the leaders of Iran. You just can't. They're going to want to throw nukes. And you can't trust the cowards, which I'm comparing the anti-Semites to the cowards. Neville Chamberlain from 1938. Peace in our time. Well, we didn't get it, did we? We got World War III. And Iran was going to do this. So, once again, they're normalizing anti-Semitism. Tucker, Candace, anti-Semites, absolutely. My quote on this is from Romans 3. Their throats are open graves. They use their tongues to deceive. Vipers' venom is under their lips. Their mouths are full of curses and bitterness. Their feet rush to shed blood because it happens as a result of their weakness. In their ways are ruin and misery. In the way of shalom, they do not know. There's no fear of God before their eyes. Yeah, that's the problem. And I include Jimmy Carter in this mess, too. He started it in 1979. But then on the other side, you have the neocons who just want war, endless wars, because they make money off it. Their stock portfolio grows every time we have a war. So it's all profits or it's all against God. I mean, there is a time for war. There is. But not all the time. And these guys like Billy Crystal, Paul Wolfowitz, Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney's the worst ever. John Bolton. You can include both Bush 1 and Bush 2 and maybe his brothers, Mike Pompeo, Lindsey Graham. These are the warmongers, and they are neocons. Very dangerous. What is it all related to? The second seal. Revelation 6:3-4, and I'm saying maybe this occurred in 79, maybe in 1991, maybe 9/11, 2001. Either way, this was their war and their destiny, to take peace away from the world. Now, it started in 1971, yes, in 1979, but really the Bushes kicked it into high gear. And it has to be east of Jerusalem, which is what the Bushes did do. When the Lamb opened the second seal, I heard the second creature say, "Come," and another. That's a way of stating that all of the four horsemen are exactly the same spirit, moving different directions, but they're all the same. Another, allos in the Greek. Another horse came out, fiery red one. Its rider was given power to take lakach shalom, snatch peace from the earth, and make people kill each other. To him was given a large sword, a makira megalos, and so, yeah, there you go. So we have this war sword just moving across the earth. So I'm blaming Bush. I'm hoping it occurred on 9/11, that Bush just wanted World War III and that he's provoking it. They're neocons. And Bush and Cheney were the neocons. Bush father, Bush son, and probably the other Bushes. So that's my second horseman guess there. And it's going to push it back now by 7 years because it looks like we did our things to Iran that will delay things for a few years. Stirring Iran's eschatological hornet's nest. They believe in the 12th Imam, that he's occulted right now, but he's going to arrive at some point in time. And so they believe truly that their eschatology can force World War III, the Mahdi, the history of prophesied figure Muslims believe will redeem Islam and bring about the end times. Now, Sunni and Shiite, this is Sunni, this is Shiite eschatology, which is the Mahdi of this variety. And so just keep in mind, the Sunnis have a different eschatology, but there will be a World War III regardless, and there will be a Gog and a Magog, okay, at the end. So the hornet's nest was kicked in 1979 by weakness, by Carter. Bannon, you're kicking the hornet's nest. No, you're not looking at history properly. It happened in 1979. This is a bad place in the world as ever. The Persian Empire is not Iraq. Well, yes, they're right, but here's the problem. In this case, we needed to delay Gog Magog for a few years. So this is an interesting article from QM, Queer Majority. I can't believe I'm citing them. By any means necessary, Iran, Hamas, and the left. And so Armin Navabi has stated that we all have, by this point, seen the displays of support for Hamas and radical Islamists within young Western leftists in response to October 7th, 2023 attacks on Israel by Hamas. So basically, he's stating these factions are merging together. The anti-Semites are coming together, whether they happen to be Hamas or the young Western leftists. They're coming together, and they're trying to pull in people that end up being anti-God too. So Gog Obama gave Iran $100 billion in 2016. Now, the Center for Arms Control and Non-Proliferation says, well, you know, it wasn't $150 billion. It was only $100 billion, okay, by Obama. So Carter started it. Obama kept it going and really kicked it into another level. So they start to, they're quibbling over the details. The problem is he did do it. We saw him take, these millions and billions and hand them off to Iran and really stoke the fires, because I believe Obama is Gog, okay? And I'll give you reasons why as we move through this video. So let's just show you beauty and ugliness. And I believe within women that if you love our Father in heaven and Yeshua, that you will become more beautiful as you age. Well, Victoria Nuland has not been just a high-level U.S. diplomat. She has been the spearhead, the golden girl of the U.S. warmongering, neoconservative and liberal interventionist movements, which are in barely 2 decades have given humanity the Iraq, Syria, Libya, Ukraine, and Palestinian disasters. Yeah, so this is from Marco from Middle East, Carnelos, Victoria Nuland. Farewell to the queen of U.S. foreign policy disasters. That's the problem. We went into nation build, and we thought we could, disrupt them in nation build. Well, we've been wrong every single time. And you can see how godly women become more beautiful and ugly women become even uglier. And look at her on the right-hand side. That's the same woman, okay? Love God or else. Iran's friends are Russia and China. Yeah, that's the problem. We're stirring the hornet's nest now with those two. But we would anyway. They hate us anyway. And the prophecies, I'll show you the prophecies. Don't worry. Trump gives Israel and Iran 2-week deadline to broker peace as bombing continues. Live updates. Daily Mail, June 19th. So basically, Israeli officials released images of the precise airstrike on the nuclear facility. And so President Vladimir Putin and Chinese Xi, the leader there, condemned Israel for its escalatory strikes on Iran in a phone call earlier Thursday with PM Keir Starmer, warned Trump against ramping up the Middle East. Any retaliation by Iran against the United States of America will be met with force far greater than what we witnessed tonight. Thank you, Donald Trump. Yep, okay, so basically it's going to be the war of words, and there's going to be attacks back and forth. And Russia and China, I'll explain it in a couple of slides here. They're weakened right now by the quick losses in Iran, okay? So this is Dave, and that's how I'm going to explain it. I watched Ethereum go up, and I said, why is it going up? We have a war going on right now. Well, Dave, the brilliant guy, said, okay, so I said to him, okay, smart guy, why are the globalists staking billions on Ethereum when Trump is ready to bunker bust Iran? Nobody believes that it's going to be a long-term thing. If anything, it's likely to be good for global markets after the dust settles. Iran has already lost most of its military abilities and nuclear capability, which means that the worst case scenario is all but assured to be avoided. Not just for today, but for he said 20 years. It's not 20 years, but for a time frame, okay, probably 5 to 7 years. Russia and China have been shown to be completely paper tigers. By cutting down Iran fast, the biggest terrorist actor in the world is now offline, making a statement against China and Russia. Okay, interesting. Thank you, Dave. Astute, very astute. And he'll make some more comments. So what's going to occur now? You'll see the anger in Russia over Iran. Putin, Russians and Ukrainians are one people. In that sense, the whole of Ukraine is ours. Putin warns of World War III. We are stoking it, but it's coming anyway, okay? So I'm citing Daniel 7 here, 4 through 5. First was a lion, Great Britain, who had eagle's wings, USA. As I watched, the wings were plucked off, and it was lifted off the earth and made to stand on 2 feet like a man, and a human heart was given to it to spread the good news worldwide, which England and the US did over the last 200 years. Then there was another animal, a second one, like a bear, Mother Russia. It raised itself up on one side, and it had 3 ribs. Those are 3 EU regions in its mouth between its teeth, and it was told, get up, Putin, and gorge yourself with flesh. I'm embellishing it, but I think you can see those things occurring right now. Putin is going to get up and gorge himself with much flesh. So, Russian bear is angry and will attack. This is from RT. This is basically Putin's mouthpiece. Iran's says the criminal U.S. regime committed blatant and unprecedented crimes. Adds U.S. has neither the power of initiative or ability to escape heavy responses. Aggressors in this land must expect regrettable responses. On the right-hand side, Dmitry said, and this is powerful, what have the Americans accomplished with their nighttime strikes on Iran's 3 nuclear sites? Critical infrastructure of the nuclear fuel cycle appears to have been unaffected or sustained only minor damage. Dmitry. The enrichment of nuclear material, and now we can say it outright, the future production of nuclear weapons will continue. That's Medvedev, that's Russia, that's the bear saying we're going to stoke things with Iran. A number of countries are ready to directly supply Iran with their own nuclear warheads. That's June 22nd, 2025. Keep it in mind. So, there will be this weird time of peace and safety coming up. For when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes on them as travail upon a woman with child. Based upon how I read Dmitry Duduman and David Wilkerson, it seems like much needs to occur before World War III, even though everyone is screaming World War III is at our doorstep. No. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is screaming World War III right now. She really thinks it's going to kick off. No, we're actually going to go into peace, security, and prosperity for a short period of time based off business. And that's the Trump trajectory. Okay? Get ready for it. It's biblical and it's going to occur. But the destruction will come after that. And it will be like birth pangs. Ezekiel states it this way, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages, that's Gog, and I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. Ezekiel 38:11. So Gog will attack at some point in time. The plan seems to be that God will enable Trump to bully the world into a commerce type of peace for a short period of time. Then Russia and China will feel increasingly isolated and snubbed. It seems like Western neocons need to bully Iran more and poke Russia and China until they're cornered rats. In about 6-7 years, leaders will push for World War III. That's me speaking. That's not Dave. But kudos so far, because we're going to have some kind of an odd peace manufactured out of this. We'll have nationwide protests. This will be signs of the fifth seal, martyrdom. Okay? And so stop the war on Iran. Trump is a war criminal. Sunday, June 22nd. That's today. Find a protest. Ugh. Okay, don't do it, people. Don't do it. Massive protest against Trump begins in San Diego. There you go. Thousands of people in San Diego. What a beautiful location. I'd rather be out boating. Okay. This is your king. More people showed up in Idaho to protest Trump than showed up to celebrate him in D.C. His birthday parade crowd couldn't fill a food court. Don't let him gaslight you. Share this footage before they pretend it never happened. Psst, whatever. Okay, fifth seal martyrdom's coming. That is persecution against Christians and Jews. The appearance of the Antichrist, the church driven underground, the demon-possessed, Revelation 9, locusts activated and going wild. Many things need to occur, but there will be a bloodbath of U.S. Civil War and more. That's from Don, my friend, who monitors Wilkerson and Duduman very well. Thank you, Don. Bible prophecies of these types will require time to gestate. So the fifth seal will kick off, and you'll notice more of it, more persecution against Christians and Jews, believers in Nigeria and other places. Poor Iranian. Pray for Iranian believers right now. They're going to be spanked for this attack, okay? God will delay World War III until it's his time for World War III. That's me. Okay? Walls. China will broker world peace. What kind of a nut bar? That's our Minnesota governor. I live in Minnesota. This is from Fox News. This is about Tim Walz saying, well, the leaders of this peace agreement should be the Chinese. Obviously, Walz is just an operative of the Chinese. He's a Chi-Com, okay? And he's ridiculous. So basically, on the right-hand side, Trump's troops will arrive on Thursday, June 19th, and then he'll claim victory and the spoils. That's me. Dave says, yep, close enough. Probably less spoils, but more in international military bases and lower global terrorism. Dave, thank you. We agree it's not the end, but rather just the beginning of the day of the Lord. This is a temporary eradication of enemies, but the Messiah will do the whole thing. And it was all started in 1979, in part by Jimmy Carter. And now how will it end? We don't know, but The Economist is asking that. It's not going to end by China. So Walz is wrong every single step of the way. He's just a horrible leader. I'm sorry that I live in Minnesota. I love the state, for its geography and things like that, but not for Walz and some of the other nutbags that work with him. So Dave gives us some other interesting comments. By the way, the F-35 isn't supposed to be used like this. It's supposed to be a multi-role Swiss Army knife fighter. It does have good stealth, but not compared to other jets. Its stealth is pretty moderate, yet it was completely untouchable in the Iranian airspace, even with full AA from Iran in place. Okay, so Dave, thank you. Also, the F-35 has shown exactly how superior it is to Chinese, Russian, and Iranian air defenses. The disparity is so great that it wasn't even a fight. We didn't even know exactly how big the gap was until Israel and Ukraine spent the last 5 years probing to figure out exactly. Every NATO country saw what a cluster blah, 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 it was and how now realizes how behind China and Russia technology really is. Dave's right. It was fast. There was no doubt in your mind that Iran and China and Russia all fell and have egg on their face. So this delays those guys too. They're still angry, but it delays them from doing an all-out assault against the United States and, say, Europe right away. Iran just turned into a massive worldwide weapons expo and showed off exactly how far behind the evil axis is compared to the USA and NATO. That's Dave again. The Patriot missile systems work great. The Russian systems and the Chinese systems don't work so well. And Israel is probably the best at all of this. So Dave, again, Iranian weapons expo. By the way, every NATO country put in orders for the F-35. Countries that previously purchased Russia AA because it was anti-aircraft, cheaper than USA Patriot system, are now looking to switch out billions in equipment seemingly overnight. Dave's right. He's so right. So basically, what I'm getting at is this flipped the tables for a period of time with Russia and China realizing they can't do a frontal assault against the United States and Europe. They have to do something dirty. We'll get to the prophecies in a couple of minutes and you'll see it. Which superpower will fall first? Iran will collapse first. This is Dave again. But Russia isn't far behind. It's a coin toss between Russia or China regarding who will have their government overthrown first, but it's coming for both of them. We owe Israel and Ukraine a big debt. Between those two countries, they have done more in the last year to destroy global terrorism than the rest of the world combined over the last decade. Interesting. So these countries are going to fall because no one wants to buy their anti-aircraft military weapons. Okay? Why would you buy it? So these are the nuclear warheads in 2025. The Russian and the Chinese nukes will live on to fight another day. This is me talking. They realize they can't fight a direct war against the U.S., but a sneaky war could cripple the United States. So it doesn't matter if they have 4,309 nukes in Russia. It doesn't matter if we have 3,700. It costs money to keep these things going. How much money does it take to keep nukes alive and functioning? A lot. So you're better off with less and more better ways to deliver them. And also, you need other warfare now because warfare is changing. Now we're on the prophecy side. So this is going to be Wilkerson first. America will suffer the first strokes of vengeance at a later time when Russia invades the Holy Land. God will himself destroy all but a sixth of Russia. Russia invades Israel because the American eagle is no longer there to defend her. The defense of Israel will be our battle, but will not be our battle, but the Lord's, so that Israel will give all the glory to God. Before the great Holocaust, there will be smaller holocausts. The oil fields in the Middle East will be ablaze. The smoke will rise night and day. As a warning of the greater Holocaust yet to come, there will be bombs falling on oil fields and shipping docks and storage tanks. There will be more of these things. And I want, this is day 613 of the war. And so Russia has agreed to construct 8 nuclear power plants in Iran. Well, some of those are in flames right now. You'll see more. Okay, June 14th, people start fighting against the government. It happened in part. It'll get worse, okay? But there are 7 signs about the fall of America from Dmitry Duduman. And his comment is on the right-hand side. He said, remember this, Dmitry. The Russian spies have discovered where the nuclear warehouses are in America. When the Americans will think that it is peace and safety from the middle of the country, some of the people will start fighting against, I believe, the Trump's government. The government will be busy with internal problems. Then from the ocean, from Cuba, Nicaragua, Mexico, he told me 2 other countries, but I didn't remember what they were. They will bomb the nuclear warehouses. When they explode, America will burn. Okay, so this is Duduman and Boldea again. When America burns, Revelation 18, the Lord will raise up China, Japan, believe it or not, Japan and other nations to go against the Russians. They will beat the Russians and push them all the way to the gates of Paris. Over there, they will make a treaty and appoint the Russians as their leaders. They will unite against Israel. When Israel realizes she does not have the strength of America behind her, she will be frightened, and that's when she will turn to the Messiah for deliverance. That's when Messiah will come. Then the church will meet Jesus in the air, and he will bring them back with him to the Mount of Olives. At that time, the battle of Armageddon will be fought. Gog Magog. Okay, so that's Duduman, that's Boldea, his grandson, and those are those types of prophecies. We'll do one more from him, and here it is right here. China and Russia. I prayed, and then I went to bed, and I heard a trumpet sound, a voice cried to me, stand. In my vision, I was in America. I walked out of my home and began to look for the one who had spoken to me. As I looked, I saw 3 men dressed alike. 2 of them carried weapons. One of them armed. The armed men came to me. I woke you to show you what is to come. He said, come with me. I didn't know where I was being taken, but when he reached a certain place, he said, stop here. A pair of binoculars was handed to me, and I was told to look through them. Stand here, don't move, and look. You will see what they are saying and what they are preparing for America. As I was looking, I saw a great light. A dark cloud appeared over it. I saw the president of Russia, a short, chubby man who said he was the president of China, and 2 others. The last 2 said where they were from, but I didn't understand. However, I gathered they were part of Russia-controlled territory. The men stepped out of the cloud. The Russian president began to speak to the Chinese one. I will give you the land with all the people, but you must free Taiwan of the Americans. Do not fear. We will attack them from behind. That's how the attacks will occur. The voice said to me, watch where the Russians penetrate America. I saw these words, Alaska, Minnesota, Florida. That's me. Russia and China vision again from Dmitry from 1996, continuing on with what I was reading. Then the man spoke again, when America goes to war with China, the Russians will strike without warning. The other 2 presidents spoke, we too will fight for you. Each one had a place already planned as a point of attack. All of them shook hands and hugged, and they all signed a contract. One of them said, we're sure that Korea and Cuba will be on our side too. Without a doubt, together we can destroy America. The president of Russia, that's Revelation 18, people. The president of Russia began to speak insistently, why let ourselves be led by the Americans? Why not rule the world ourselves? We have been kicked out of Europe too. Then I could do as I please with Europe. The man standing behind me asked, this is what you saw. They act as friends. And they say they respect the treaties made together, but everything I've shown you is how it will really happen. You must tell them what is being planned against America. Then when it comes to pass, the people will remember the words the Lord has spoken. Who are you? I am the protector of America. America's sin has reached God. He will allow this destruction, for he can no longer stand such wickedness. God, however, still has people that worship him with a clean heart as they do his work. He has prepared a heavenly army to save these people. As I looked, a great army, well-armed and dressed in white, appeared before me. Do you see that? The man said, this army will go to battle and save my chosen ones. Then the difference between the godly and the ungodly will be evident. That's the end of this. And so I'll just quote a little bit from this, the future of Israel. Israel needs to turn to Yeshua and God. And so when America burns, the Lord will raise China, Japan, and other nations to go against the Russians. They will beat the Russians and push them all the way to the gates of Paris. So then they'll appoint the Russians as the leaders. Then they'll unite against Israel. So at that time, the Battle of Armageddon will be fought. So basically, you have to have a situation where Israel needs God more than America. And that's what's brewing right now. Gog Magog will occur at the end. Okay, so how will it end? Gog Magog. That's World War III. That's years from now. You'll see other things going on, but you won't see the Sunnis, the Shiites, and others ganging up against Israel, and really 70 nations, all nations, ganging up for Ezekiel 38-39 until Gog Magog. I'm saying it's Obama. We'll see. We'll see if he jumps back in. This is interesting. This is a 90-year-old lady from Norway that had a 1968 prophecy, and she gave the prophecy to Emmanuel Minos back in 1968. And before the coming of Jesus and the outbreak of the Third War, 4 waves. First, the détente, a long time of peace. Long time. You can pause it if you want to and read the specifics. There will be a lukewarmness without parallel in the Christians, and we're seeing that. Prosperity, yep. The third wave is moral disintegration, just completely immoral people. Yep, we're seeing that. Fourth, people from poor countries will stream to Europe. They will also come to Scandinavia and Norway. Yes, they are. And that was preposterous, even 10, 15 years ago. People will dislike them and become hard with them. They will be treated like the Jews before the Second World War. Then the full measure of our sins will be reached. The tears streamed from the old woman's eyes down her cheeks. I will not see it, but you will. That suddenly Jesus will come and the Third World War breaks out. It will be a short war. It matches with Wilkerson and Duduman. And all I have seen of war is child's play, because it'll be ended with nuclear atom bombs. The air will be so polluted you can't breathe. It'll cover America, Japan, Australia, many wealthy nations. The water will be ruined, contaminated. You can't till the soil. People that are wealthy will flee to the poor countries, but they will be as hard on them as they were on, the wealthy people were very hard on the poor people. So the one who has a sin forgiven and has Jesus as Savior and Lord is safe. So that's where we're going. So this is a prophecy from Natan from 2015. All the world will want Jerusalem. So that's him giving his prophecy. He believed that Gog was Obama. And so basically, after he died, he rose above the earth and saw the light that was full of love and security. The Messiah was already there. The war of Gog Magog started on September 11th, 2015, but it takes years to grow and foment. Okay, there will be a huge war. The IDF will stand against Gog for only 2 days. The leader is Barack Hussein Obama. The whole world war will last about 2 weeks. All the world will want Jerusalem. The Jews who do not keep Torah will die. The number will be in the millions. This is in addition to the non-Jews who will also perish. Mount Zion will split in 2. Messiah will be revealed. Messiah will be able to sense by smell who is a God-fearing Jew and who is not. Messiah will fight against Gog and kill him. Gog will be buried in Israel. That's in the Bible. During the war, 2 atomic bombs will be shot at Israel, and God will suspend them in the air for 2 weeks. They will eventually fall on Tel Aviv and Haifa. Israel will be captured, but the worthy will survive in Jerusalem. Messiah will wear a garment that is stained in blood. That's Isaiah 63. The blood symbolizes the Jews who were killed while righteous. Messiah will then take revenge on the nations of the world who oppressed the Jews over the years. It will take a very long time to bury all the dead. Only those who really repent will survive. Those who repent will inherit the highest level of heaven. The Holy Temple will descend from heaven, and there will be a resurrection of the dead. This will take time and not happen immediately. It's a matter of months till the final redemption, well, years. Gog War, very last. It's the very, very last. Kabbalists predicted current war is the final battle. It takes time. So this is Rabbi Moshe Chaim Luzzatto from the 18th century. Israel must go through many wars before it can rest from its work. The last war is the Gog Magog War, and the Lord will go out and fight with those nations. Zechariah 14:3. Behold, the people as a lion will rise up, and the lion will exalt himself. Such is the nature of the lion. Yeah, that's what's happening. That's from Israel 3:65. So we're waiting for the beast system to hit. Many things need to occur before we go into this. There will be singularity coming by 2032 of AI, the Skynet. Ozone depletion, micronova, pole flip. a couple of micronovas, actually. Mass depopulation rather, by wars and insanity, economic and inflation woes, fall of Western civilization, we become third world, food crop failures, water issues, narcissistic and stupid politicians, the mark of the beast. Many things need to occur. So basically, the peace deal that's coming is going to be based on cash. Many things. Pause it if you want to. You can see these things need to occur. I believe it's the two witnesses that cause many things, but we have to go through the final 7 years. You can pause this too if you want to, but basically Hal Turner is saying by the end of July, the billionaires are going to run to their bunkers. They'll run when it's time to run. Watch them, okay? So just watch where they go for their bunkers, and keep in mind, August 3rd is Av9, so be aware. They may be running. You can pause it and read the specifics. I'm not a big Hal Turner fan, but watch the billionaires for their bunkers. That's the sixth seal. Just watch it. And keep in mind, this is from my friend Rebecca Sterling. I interviewed her a couple of times years ago. We have mutual friends too. The first EMP from the sun is temporary. The second one you'll never come back from. So you can pause it and read this for yourself. But basically, get ready for EMPs and get ready for the sun to kick it off. And she didn't understand exactly what it meant, but Ben Davidson has been talking about it. He's really only talking about one, but there are two. There's a temporary one and a permanent one. And he cites this. You can pause it if you want to. Things are going to happen with the disaster cycle. And when, and the extinction risk, and the timing, and other triggers, and things like that. So you can pause it if you want to and read through it. But this is Ben Davidson. We're coming up to the sixth seal. That seems to be getting ready. And so where are we? We're in the birth pangs. We are not in the tribulation. We are not in the great tribulation. We are really awaiting the fifth seal, the sixth seal, and then we go in. We're watching the signs right now. And so I wanted to cite again. So basically, it's the anti-Semites and the neocons fighting against each other. You can fight God all you want. And so let's see here. Hornet's Nest. Yep, I talked about from 1979. So we've bought some time, and how much time I don't know. And you'll know it's all based on the sixth seal. So yeah. So basically, that's it. I've covered everything. Thank you very much for your time, and God bless you. Remember, clean garments, not naked. Thank you very much for your time. God bless.